Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm Vinayak here, and I welcome you all for our webinar today, hosted by HCL Software Digital Solutions Organization. As we all know, Docker is a software platform for building applications based on containers. So today we are going to share best practices for installation and configuration of Domino on this platform. I am the facilitator for today's session, and with me I have Aniket Salve, member from our support team, as the speaker. We also have today our panel members, Ranjit, Rajiv, Raj, and Shrikant. Please note this webinar is being recorded. Our participants would be on mute throughout the session, and they can post their questions, clarifications in the chat section. Our panel members would be more than happy to respond to them. Also, for everyone's reference, we have uploaded today's presentation in the handout section. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you. And now I would be handing it over to Aniket. Over to you, Aniket.
Thank you, Vinayak. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Vinayak, can we have a agenda? The intention of this webinar is to get acquainted with Domino on Docker. In this webinar, I will be introducing to what is Docker and some useful terminologies associated with the Docker, different components of Domino Docker architecture, system requirements, and limitations for current version of Domino on Docker, different types of containers we can create using current Domino Docker image, how to deploy a new Domino server and additional Domino server using Docker image, how to create offline maintenance and Domino server upgrade containers, some key benefits and need to know things when working with Domino on Docker, some useful Docker commands, and finally we will open for Q&A and your valuable feedbacks. Moving on to the next slide, Docker is the most popular container technology. So next question will be, what is container? Container is basically a small and lightweight execution environment that make shared use of operating system kernel. So container shares the same kernel as of the operating system. Containers isolates the software from its environment and ensures that it works uniformly. So the software always runs the same regardless of its environment. There are few important terminologies which we need to understand. The first one is image. An image is a single file consisting of all the dependencies and configurations which are required to run a program or an application. We can say image is a combination of file systems and startup commands. We create containers using an image file. Next one is container. Container is a running instance of an image. This is where the actual program or application is running. Using Docker commands, we can start container, we can stop the container, or even we can delete the container, which means we can start, stop, or delete an application. Next one is volume. Volume means some type of mechanism that allows the container to access a file system outside of the container. In terms of Domino, this is where we store our Domino data directory. Docker daemon is also called as Docker engine, which manages the overall operation or administration of Docker objects like image, containers, volume, and networks. Docker host is a system on which we run the Docker engine. Moving on to the next slide. This is the Domino Docker architecture diagram. Here you can see that on Docker host, Docker daemon is installed. Docker daemon operates on Domino image using Docker CLI commands to create a Domino container. Domino container is the actual Domino application. Domino container interacts with Domino volume The Domino volume is where we hold our Domino data directory. Moving on to the next slide. It is the system requirements and the limitation. The system requirements for installing Domino on Docker are the Docker host server can be installed on Red Hat Enterprise Linux Server 7.4 Plus or on CentOS Server 7.4 Plus, and Docker Engine 19 Plus should be installed and configured. There are current limitations Domino on Docker is that we cannot convert a non-container based Domino server to a container based Domino server. The server controller and Java consoles are currently not supported for a container Domino server. So if we install a Domino server using Docker image, then we cannot use server controller or Java console for the containerized Domino server. And one Domino server can be run on the Docker host. Moving on to the next slide. There are 4 types of Domino containers available with current Docker image. First one is for Domino server setup. This container is used to launch a remote Domino server setup program, and this is a temporary container. Second container is to run Domino application. This container is used to start or stop the Domino application. This is a long time container. Third container is a Domino server upgrade container. This container upgrades the Domino server version. Fourth container is offline maintenance container. This container is basically used when we need to run the offline maintenance such as fixup, updal, or compact on Domino databases. Moving on to the next slide. Here I will explain how to deploy a new Domino server using Docker image. On this slide, you can see the 4 steps which we need to perform. First step is to load the Domino Docker archive file onto the Docker. Second step is to create a Docker volume. As we discussed earlier, Docker volume holds the Domino data directory. In the third step, we create a temporary container for remote Domino server setup program. And in final step, we create a container for Domino. This is where the actual Domino application is running. Moving on to the next slide. We need to download the Domino Docker image file from FlexNet portal. Domino Docker file name is domino_1101 underscore docker image.tgz. This image is based on Docker compatible Red Hat universal base image of Domino. So let's see how to load the Docker image onto the Docker. We use docker load -- input and the Docker file name command to load the Domino image onto the Docker. On the right hand side on screenshot, you can see the output of the command. It has loaded an image and the name of the image is given. To verify the created image, we can use docker image ls command. Right hand side screenshot, you can see the output of docker image ls command where it is showing the image name. Second step is to create a volume for data directory. To create a volume store for data directory, we use docker volume create knowledge data command. Here knowledge data is a volume name. On the right hand side screenshot, you can see the knowledge data volume is created. To verify the created volume, we can use docker volume ls command. Moving on to the next slide. Third step is to create a temporary container for remote Domino server setup program. The reason behind we are creating a temporary container is after using this container, we are no longer required. So once this container is stopped, it will get removed from the system. If you have installed the Domino on Linux environment, You already aware about the remote domino server setup. So on the screen, you can see the command for the creating a temporary container. Here docker run is the command which we use to create and start the container. I will go through the argument which are mentioned in the command -rm. This argument tells the docker to remove this container once it is stopped. --name. This argument is used to specify unique friendly name for the container. So please remember that you cannot use the same name for another container. If you want to use the same name, then you need to delete the container. Next is -v, then docker volume name. Docker volume, which we have created in earlier step, we need to provide that name. Please note that docker volume is outside the Domino container. So we need to map this volume to inside location of the container. So left side of the column in the command, you can see is a volume name, which we created earlier. And right hand side of the column is the path inside the container. Node data is the volume name here I given in the command, and /local/node data is the path inside the container. You can also add different volumes such as for the transaction login or DOS using -v argument. -hostname. This is the host name that is mapped to the Domino container. This is the server name on which Docker is installed. -p host port : container port. This specifies which ports from Domino container to publish to the host system. In the command, I have mentioned 8585, which is required for remote Domino server setup program, and 1352, which is required to connect to the Domino server via an RPC. Next is image name. Here we need to specify the name of the image which we created earlier. --setup. This argument is used to launch the remote Domino server setup program. So after executing this command, remote Domino server setup program runs. On the right hand side on this slide, you can see the remote Domino server is running. The Domino server is actually running in the listener mode. So obviously the next step is to configure the Domino server. So moving on to the next slide. I hope you are already familiar with how to use remote server setup program using Domino admin client to configure the Domino server. On this slide, I have provided the reference article for more details on this. As soon as we finish the Domino server configuration, it prompts us to stop the listener mode, and once we click on yes, the container is stopped and it will get removed, as we have mentioned -rm argument when creating this container. So moving on to the next slide, creating a container for Domino. This is the fourth and final step. In this step, we start our Domino application. There are two ways in which we can start the Domino server. First one is interactive mode. In this mode, Domino server starts in the same console window. On the right hand side screenshot on this slide, you can see that after running the command, Domino application is started in the same window. Second is detach mode. In this mode, Domino server runs in the background. On the right hand side screenshot, you can see that after executing the command, it created some alphanumeric ID. This is the unique ID for container. Commands for both the modes are given on this slide. I will explain the arguments specified in both the commands. -it. It is basically has two arguments, that is -i and -t. Here -i is used for interactive mode and -t is used to attach the terminal to the console. So when the Domino server starts in the same console, we can directly execute Domino commands such as show task or show server. -D is used to run the container in detached mode. In this mode, the Domino server runs in the background. Please note, in both the commands, we have published certain ports when creating a container. In this particular example, I have published 80.443.1352 port. So suppose we want our Domino server to use SMTP port 25. Then I should have included -p 25:25 in this particular command. If I don't publish the port when create a container, then even on the server you load the SMTP task or in the ports server document ports internet ports you mention the SMTP settings over there, it will won't work. By any chance if you missed to publish the required ports, what you can do is you can stop the container, you can delete this container, and you can recreate the container with all the ports which you want to be published for that particular Domino server. The reason behind I said delete the container is if you want to use the same name for the container. As in earlier slide, I have mentioned that we need to give some unique name for the container. Next argument is --cap -add equal to sys_ptrace. This allows NLD to capture call stacks via ptrace tool. Sometimes we need to run an NLD when our Domino server is running. So there are two ways in which we can run the NLD when Domino server is running. First, using docker exec -u nodes -it, then Domino SRV is my container name /bin/bash. So after executing this command, it takes us to nodes data folder, and from there we can run the NLD using -opt -scl -domino -bin -nld command. Second way is from directly host system, we can run the NLD using docker exec -u space nodes -it, then domino srv /opt/scl/domino/bin/nld. Here -exec is used to run a command in a running container, and -u specifies the username. Moving on to the next slide. Till now, we have seen how to deploy a new Domino server using Docker image. To deploy an additional server using Docker image, steps remains the same. That is from step 1 to step 3 remains the same. Only thing is after we create a temporary container as mentioned in step 3, we need to copy the server ID file into the temporary container. To do this, we use docker cp command. Docker cp command is basically used to copy the data from host to the container and vice versa. Now to copy the server ID file from the host system to the container, command is given on this slide. So to find the container ID, you can open another terminal window and run the docker ps command. Next step is to configure the Domino server using remote Domino server setup program, which we have already discussed. In case the server ID file is password protected, then you can use Docker Swarm or Kubernetes secrets. I have provided the link on the slide on how to use Docker Swarm or Kubernetes secrets. Moving on to the next slide. There are times when we need to stop the Domino applications and run offline maintenance such as fixup, compact, updall on Domino databases. So for this, we need to create offline maintenance container. So once we stop our Domino application, we can run the offline maintenance on our Domino databases. There are two ways we can stop the Domino application. One is stopping the container, and other ways from the admin client, we can initiate the quit command. When stopping the container using Docker command, we use docker stop -t, then the numbers which is given in the seconds, and then container name. Here we use -t to specify time in seconds. The reason behind we use -t switch is by default Docker waits for 10 seconds to stop an application. If the application doesn't stop in 10 seconds, Docker issues docker kill command and it stops the application. So for gracefully shutting down the Domino application, we use -t switch. To create offline container, I have given the command on this slide, and I will explain the arguments in this command. --entry point /bin/bash. This argument is basically used to provide access through a bash shell. --entry point argument is used to override the default command in the Docker image. So we have already discussed the rest of the argument in this command, so I will skip those argument. After executing this command, it takes us to the data directory, and from there we can run the maintenance command such as fixup, updall, compact. On the right hand side of the screenshot, you can see the output of this command. So once our maintenance activity is completed, we can type exit command, and this will stop the offline maintenance container, and then we can start our Domino container. Moving on to the next slide. Domino upgrade container. Whenever new fix pack or new Domino server version comes, we need to upgrade our Domino server. So to upgrade our Domino server, we need to create a separate container called upgrade container. Again, we need to download the fixpack Docker image from the FlexNet portal, and we need to use docker load -- input command to load the fixpack image onto the Docker. Second step is to remove the Domino container. So existing Domino container, what we need to remove is the container which we have created earlier to start our Domino application. So we use docker rm command to remove the container. Please note that even if we remove the container, it doesn't affect our data directory, as our data directory is located on volume, which is outside of the container. Third step is to create a upgrade container. So I have already mentioned the command syntax for the upgrade container, and I will explain the different arguments provided in this command. --update argument, it copies the new template from the images to the data directory. --run -design, this is the optional command which is used to run the design task to upgrade the databases available on volume, that is into data directory. Fourth step is to shut down the Domino server. So once we shut down the Domino server, the container stops and it gets removed. The reason behind it gets removed is in the command you can see we have mentioned -rm argument. So the next step to create a Domino container. We already know how to create a Domino container, which we have discussed in a earlier slide. On this slide, I have given the command again. So moving on to the next step. Some key benefits that we can quickly install and configure the Domino server as a container. Faster deployment of Domino application is possible using containerized version of the Domino. There are few things which I would like to highlight as a precautionary measure when we are dealing with the container, that we should not modify any files inside the container. The reason behind that is while creating a container, we have removed some containers. We have created some container as a temporary container. So if we keep some data or anything inside the container, then that will be lost. However, you can create your custom image based on the top of the Docker image which we have provided. And for the support, you can provide us a Docker file if you face any issues with your image. The third thing is, by design, all the standard Domino ports are exposed. However, if you do not run the container with the ports which you require that Domino server to be honored, then it won't be used. As I mentioned, when creating a Domino container using -p command, you need to use the ports which you want to be published. In case you miss it, you can stop the container, delete the container, and recreate the container with defining all the ports which you want your Domino server to run. Moving on to the next slide. Here are some useful commands listed. Docker image ls. This command is used to list the images available on the system. Docker ps command will show the list of running container on the Docker. Docker start container ID, or you can also use a container name. This command is used to start the stop container, and Docker stop container ID or Docker stop container name is used to stop the running container. I have already explained the importance of -t switch. The next command is Docker container start, then container ID. This command will show us the live usage, CPU usage, memory usage of the container. Docker tag command is basically used to tag the image. So you can give your custom name for the image. Moving on to the next slide. On this slide, I have given some references for more useful Docker commands and Docker run commands arguments. And also I have mentioned the reference for how to run the Domino server remote setup program. Moving on to the next slide. Thank you. We are now open for Q&A and your valuable feedback.
Hey, thanks, Aniket. So I think we can now go over the questions. Ranjit, can you help us with the questions?
Thanks a lot, Vinay. There is a question which says that do you recommend Domino on Docker for production deployment, or should we wait for later release before using it in customer setups?
As of now, you can use a Docker in development environment.
Yeah, so just to add to what Niket is saying, this is just the first release of Docker image that we have provided, and I think it is the process of evolving, and further additions and improvements will be done. If you take a cautious call, I would say that you first try this in development, and maybe at later releases, once it is more mature, you can start using it in production. Okay, so there was a question which says that what about Traveler and same time on Docker?
we are going to come up with the same time Docker image,
Okay.
but for Traveler image, we may come up in the future for that.
Okay, so there is additional question to it that there is a script on GitHub which allows you to install Traveler image on, like, create a Traveler image with Docker base.
Yes.
Is supported by HCL. So
Yeah, to add this is, as I mentioned in the presentation, that you can use our image as a base image and create your own custom image. If you need any support, then we would be requiring the Docker file which you use for creating that custom image.
exactly, so that is what there were a couple of questions around it, and answer is the same, that you can use the base image which is provided by HCL of Domino, and then you can do your own customizations. Just that whenever you face issue, you should be in a position to provide us a Docker file so that we can run that Docker file and get to your customization what you have done for your image, so that we can reproduce the issue and test it out. So yes, and there is further work done on Traveler same time, and most of the, so we have released Vault on Docker recently, so even a Vault image is there for Docker. So we are doing further work on this, and in future you will see most of the products available as a Docker image. Okay, so I'll read further questions. Okay, there was a note which says that I think speaker did a good job explaining the topic. Docker is useful for development and testing update to Domino. Not a good idea for production environment. It is also useful for very specific web apps like web services. Uh, yes, the way the Docker is designed, it is designed for microservices. So you can have multiple microservices running in the different containers and all of them interacting with each other. Traditionally, Domino was a single application. So maybe in future we will see something which will differentiate or distinguish Domino also in that. Are there already some Domino on Docker environment in real world production? So far, we are not really aware of that information. So far, we don't have information if somebody has deployed Docker, because it was recently released, and so I think still people are testing it around. So we have not really come across. Maybe we can check on this and get back. So all these questions and answer to those questions will be posted in an article, and that would have link to the presentation, to the recording of this session, and to all the questions that has been asked and answers to those questions. So thanks a lot. So yes, there is still some questions. What is the limitation to running multiple Domino server on the same Docker host? As of now, it is not really tested. So if you do a port mapping, you can definitely define an IP address where the port mapping would be attached to a specific IP address if you have multiple IP addresses. So if you really think about if you have a single IP address, you cannot really map 135 to port twice to the host. So that is one restriction. But if you have multiple IP address, but it is something right now not tested and supported, but that does not limit you from testing it for your own purpose. Okay, so there was a comment that one of the participants has been running Docker for over a year for their dev environment. So what about interaction, web chat, and inodes on Docker? So if you see web chat and inodes, they don't really do an inter-process communication. It is most of an host IP communication. So that won't really be affected, even if you have image running on Docker, as long as that your chat server is able to communicate to the Domino server through an IP address. This functionality should work as it is. There shouldn't be any challenge with that. Okay, so that's the list of the question. I think if you are missed, we will include that in the article. Thanks a lot for posting and making this session really interactive. And there were a lot of questions, and the participants were really active. So thanks a lot about So over to you, Vinayak. We are done with the questions.
Hey, thanks, Ranjit. Once again, thank you everyone for your time. And as Ranjit mentioned, be informed that we would be publishing a knowledge article which would include our presentation, the recording, and the Q&A transcript later. So thank you and see you soon for our next webinar.